Welcome back. The Drive, Fan Run Radio. Russell Smith and Bob Baskerville. Pleased to be joined for the first time this season, hopefully the first of several times, by Tennessee assistant basketball coach Gregg Polinsky. Coach, good afternoon. How are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you, gentlemen?
Hey, we're doing good. Good to hear from you, and good to talk a little hoops as we wind down football season and head into basketball. We are primed and ready. I know you guys really came out of the gate steaming at 7-0. Lost to the last two. What's gone right? What's gone wrong for the Vols so far this season?
Yeah, I still think we're trying to figure it out. I know that's not a very conclusive answer, but it's an honest one. We putting together a lot of new guys like a lot of teams are doing, and I think the inconsistency of play it comes along with that. It's not something fans want to hear. It's not something we want to watch as coaches. We feel like we had two opportunities with full respect for Kansas and Syracuse that we felt like we were in position to win both games. And we didn't do it. And so we feel like we have the physical attributes, the pieces on this team to do so. But on that particular day or night, both those teams performed better than we did for 40 minutes. So we got to figure it out, and we're in the process of doing that.
Hey, Coach, it's great talking to you again. On that note, one of the things I think we've seen at the beginning of this season in this new era of college basketball is chemistry and cohesion counts for a lot, maybe more so than ever before. And we're seeing where, all these teams, again, in this new age where some programs are just turning over their roster entirely. And sometimes it works really well. I mean, Exhibit A right now, I'd say would probably be Michigan, right? I mean, they look fantastic and they have a ton of new players. And there's some other schools who are struggling, still kind of finding their way. And I don't think Tennessee's in that boat, but my question to you is, because there are a lot of new players, chemistry and cohesion, how do you feel that's happening with those guys right now? Because I know that's a big deal for Coach Barnes.
Yeah, I think we talk, the word culture is used a lot, but we're very proud of what's here. And, just watching us in practice, two of our more consistent guys, or three or four, are all guys that have been here in the past. Bishop Boswell, Felix Akpara, JP Estrella, and Kate Phillips. Grant Hurst, all those guys know what we're doing. They still have their moments, but you can see a different level in terms of understanding, a different level of intensity at times, of commitment. It doesn't mean the other guys don't want to do it. It's an understanding of what the standard is here, how we do it. It might differ from their past places they've been, but we're still trying to get connected as a group, and we're still trying to figure out our rotation. We've had guys play well in one game and then not another, and so we're trying to put the pieces together. And it's funny you mentioned Michigan. They were just so dominating out in Vegas. But I look back and, I watched their exhibition game against Cincinnati, and they gave up 100 points. I watched them play Wake Forest, who had a shot at the buzzer to win at Michigan. And then all of a sudden they flipped the switch, and they've got great talent. But just using them as an example, it's when, like, Dusty and them have done it there. And now we're getting ready to play an Illinois team that we all know what a coach Brad Underwood is. And our series with them has been truly great, I think, competitive as heck, 2 high-level games. And we got to go out and do it this Saturday.
Talking with Gregg Polinsky, Tennessee basketball assistant, this afternoon here on The Drive. And, Coach, when you talk about those 4 core returning players from last year's squad, the word that comes to mind for me is leadership. And Bob and I were talking about this on the show yesterday. Last year you had, of course, Zakai and Meshack and Jordan Gainey. And, those were the unquestioned leaders of the team. And it just seems like replacing those intangibles is a really tall order. Is when you talk about that, is that something that can even be done considering the experience and production that those guys had, and who would be those guys that you look to be leaders on the floor and in the locker room this year?
Well, you'll never duplicate Zakai, Jemai Mashak, and really near the end, Jordan Gainey, because we were just lucky enough in this era to have 2 4-year players that Jemai came in with, a talkative nature, not afraid to say what he thought, high IQ for the game. It took Z a little while. He was so competitive. He got down on himself early. But man, his last year and a half, that guy was so special. Not maybe with the jump shot, not maybe with an assist, not maybe on every defensive possession, but we are talking about the former SEC Defensive Player of the Year, I believe, back to back. So we all realize what he brought that into the court. He was great. All 3 of those guys were great. And it was funny. I was sitting there on the bench during the Syracuse game, just to your guys' point. And this is absolutely no knock at Jacoby Gillespie. What are we, 9 games in? 9 games in. Zakai Ziegler played how many games here? How many did Jemai Mashak play? So they already knew what Coach was thinking before Coach said it. And I was thinking, I wonder what Zakai would say in this huddle. And it came to my mind. Or at halftime, we wouldn't have even probably have gone in there for about 5 minutes and let Zakai and Jemai and Jordan talk it out. They would have taken care of it. Whereas right now, we got a few guys that speak up, but it is a new role for them as well. A very new role, from going to being, a counterpart or a guy that's a secondary leader to being the alpha. And we certainly miss that. But the fun part, or the silver lining, is we get a chance to see it evolve. We get a chance to guys see them mature in different roles. And if we don't get there on that, then this team won't reach the potential that it potentially can get to. Sorry to be so redundant with words there. But the physical pieces are here. Now, can we go from an intangible standpoint and create an atmosphere and a vibrant, competitive nature that other teams have had here for us in the past?
Let's continue that conversation on transformation, because one of my notes here, I feel like I've got to own up to something, and let's talk about the transformation of Bishop Boswell. After I checked out the inter-squad scrimmage at TBA back in the fall, and then the Duke exhibition, and I was certain, me being Mr. Know-It-All, that Bishop was going to slide down the rotation in terms of minutes, and so, again, shows you what little I really know. That said, my eyes are wide open. We don't win that Houston game, I don't think, without obviously the efforts of everybody, but Bishop and even Jalen Carey. I mean, those guys were such difference makers. And it sure feels like Boswell's locked up coach's confidence, your confidence, everyone else. I'd love to get your take on what has changed with Bishop. I mean, last year he was a true freshman and didn't get as many minutes, but it just feels like he has risen to the challenge. He wants to be great on defense, and we know how important that is for Coach Barnes. What are your thoughts on his evolution?
Well, and I think Bishop has spoken to it, Bob, and I don't get, listen, my comment. I love, as long as our fans are coming to the game, they're entitled to an opinion. And
right.
We got great fans, not good, but great, as we all know. And I don't say that as a, recorded public message, right? I mean it. Oh boy, it matters a lot. And so when you just said, in my estimation, or however you said it, I get it. Bishop didn't get to play a lot last year. He talks about the 3 or 4 senior guards. He is an intelligent enough human being and a person of high character that he understood if you combine intellect and high character, those guys have the best chance of reaching their potential. When you lack one or the other, it's hard. It's hard. I've been around it at different levels. Bishop's got both. Great mom, raised great, family. Like, his mom is amazing. Bishop's amazing. He's a young man. Everything he says isn't always perfect. I can still say things I say aren't perfect. But Bishop really wants to win. He has embraced the role, if you will, of what we asked Jemai to do last year. I think he's a little further advanced at the same age than Jemai was offensively. Absolutely more advanced. But we're talking about an NBA player in Jemai Mashak. So the great thing about that is, and Bob, I'm kind of going off the rails, but I'll come back, is when we talk to our guys, you can make it being a defensive stopper because there aren't many guys at any level that really want to do that. It's the aesthetics. It's the wow moments. And Bishop has taken a step thus far where he's willing to do the dirty work and he's very proud of his ability to guard. And you're right. We don't have a chance, and to beat Houston or quality teams. And Houston is a high quality team without Bishop Boswell. Yeah, Kerry played great too. We had great moments from other guys. But I would say Bishop's will to win, Jalen Carey's dominance of the paint in that game, man, that was major. So Bishop has taken a step. Now he's got to keep going. He can't fall back into any other role than what he's embraced, because we really need him for that. And offensively, his game's going to evolve over time. I think we're seeing that. His shot selection, the shot he made at Syracuse to tie the game was a heck of a shot. So he's got I'll let you guys fill in the blank on this because I don't know if it's radio appropriate. You know what I mean?
Cojones.
He's got it.
Yeah.
And I'm awfully proud of Bishop for what he's doing right now. But, we got to get the rest of the guys to come along. And I was talking to one of our guys yesterday. You'll never meet a finer person than Jacoby Gillespie, than Nate Ament. They're people you'd want your daughters to date. They're just – but some of them have to come out of what they've always been and their personality traits and how they're wired. Particularly Jacoby, because, man, what an incredible human being to be around. And I mean that, awesome, not good, great. But we talk you got to get where you're uncomfortable being somebody different because you've always been quiet. You let your play do your talking. You're not loud by nature. You're a pleasure to be around. At times, do me a favor. Be unpleasant on the court with guys. It's okay. Confrontation, coming from the right place, and you are such a good guy, and you're all about winning. As our point guard, we got used to confrontation. Zakai Ziegler was not afraid of confrontation. You can do it in your way. No one's asking you to be Z. Z is his own entity. There will never be another Zakai Ziegler. There might be somebody who's just as effective, but there'll never be another Zakai Ziegler. So Kobe's got to find his way with that. We really need him to be a little bit uncomfortable with addressing guys, but it's not just him. It's Bishop, it's Felix, it's JP. We've seen a lot of growth with JP and Cade. And now those other guys got to latch on. And as they get more comfortable during the year, they can speak up too. But we do have high character guys. And what generally happens, in my opinion, with that, it might be a collective versus one or two guys leading, but we've got to find some ownership amongst this group. And that's hard because Coach Barnes is, as you guys know, a old school, hard on you, push you. So when you go on the road, we didn't lose that game at Syracuse because we weren't mentally tough enough. That's Coach's deal. The game should be easy on the road. because at practice we go at it enough to where you're under duress, you should perform. There is a method to what everything he does. So, and they understand that. And that's part of having high character guys. If you don't have high character guys, they never get it. And they don't last long. So that's why we recruit like we do. And we are very hopeful of this group.
Talking with Gregg Polinsky this afternoon on The Drive. Coach, last thing for me here. Nate Ament, obviously one of the keys to the season. So young, so raw, but you see the flashes of brilliance time and again from him on the court. Obviously, he's going through it right now, adjusting to the physical demands of playing high-level college basketball. What are the keys to him, his growth, his development, particularly over the course of the next month as you get ready for conference play?
Yeah. My comment on Nate, just so you guys know, when we were fortunate enough to sign him, and he's a great ambassador. He's everything, man. He's something else to be that age as a human being. But to the basketball portion of it, I think we'll see his greatness January, February, March, hopefully April. I told him when we got here, if I were the other team, I would take my Jemai Mashak, 6'4". I can't use all the descriptives. You let him crawl underneath you, man, and make your life miserable. And that is what Syracuse did with J.J. Starling. Senior, 6'4", strong as an ox, elite athlete. Nate will figure it out. Nate's smart. Nate's put on 20 pounds. Nate's going to keep going. He's not going to be one of those guys where you say, hey, don't stop here. Nate is somebody that is an achiever. He's competitive. He wants to do well. But you can't speed up maturity. You can't. Think about you, everybody listening, when you're 20 to when you were 30, when you were 30 to when you were 40. And I know people are saying, well, heck, we got a basketball season. Okay, we'll accelerate it. Just go month to month and let's see where Nate Ament is. Nate will figure it out, and it's our job to help him figure it out.
Yeah, it almost feels to me, Coach, like, and I've been guilty of it too. We've seen, this is like a freshman class, the likes of which we haven't seen across the country. Mm-hmm. And, people are measuring up Nate's development against like Cam Boozer, obviously, Darren Peterson, who's been hurt. But, Kingston Flemings, you guys just saw him. This class is incredible. And I almost feel like in the eyes of the fans, I feel like Nate's getting penalized because of that. And to your point, we've been talking about it too. And it's frustrating, but it's like, man, patience. You just have to exhibit patience because to your point again, we just remember like how young he is. You see the skill; it's clear. So, and I definitely wanted to hear your point of view on it, and particularly from the standpoint of the next level for that kid, because of your world. Having spent time in the league and everything else. It still feels to me like there is a ton of potential there.
There is, Bob. And if I were to say to you, let's forget a name. You got a first-year guy. I don't care if he's from Pluto, and he's averaging right around 17 a game. He leads your team in rebounding. He's shooting 8 free throws or just about that a game. And we're December the 4th. Would you feel pretty good?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So what we expect is Superman, but what we're getting is a guy just doing really well early in his career. And I would point to the defensive end. That's where Nate knows he's got to improve the most. He's a heck of a defensive rebounder. But I think the adjustment has to come from him being guarded different ways by different people with a different level of physicality and intensity, with teams loading up. And I'm just excited to see where he's going to get. If you meet him, you'd love him. So you can, if you hear it in my voice, you know why I'm so excited about him and our other guys. But Nate is a really special young man as a freshman. and Tennessee will be very, very proud of him for a long time.
Hey, Coach, we really appreciate the time this afternoon. I lied. One quick one on the way out the door. Play in Illinois, Saturday night in Nashville. We remember the game last year in Champaign, looking at their roster. A lot of hard-to-pronounce names, a lot of familiar names. Got big Z's on this roster. How do the Illini look this year? Yeah, his brother too. What are the keys this week?
Well, you just said it. Now you know why I worked for a boss one time. My joke was he was more concerned was the spelling correct than did we know the player, and I love him. But don't give me a guy from Greece because I never got it right. But the offensive rebound, they're so well coached. I know this sounds like coach talk, but Brad Underwood, just take a look at his record if you don't believe me. They do have a lot of European players. They did that by choice, I think, and some good American players as well. Kylan Boswell's terrific as their point guard at both ends. Maybe as good a two-way guard as there is in the country. And they're skilled. They're skilled at every position. Every position. 5 out, shoot the 3, rebound the ball, pretty good defensively. We got to play our A game. And we need every Vol fan to sound like they did at the SEC tournament last year. Because from what I understand, Illinois has sold a lot of tickets, and because they're excited about coming to Nashville, and, you know, they support their team. And I know we got the SEC football championship game on, but I certainly hope, that our fans will show up and they will be loud because we need it. We need to feel like we're playing a home game, although we call this a neutral site. Because I promise you, because I've been to it, when we return this game to United Center in Chicago, it will be a true home game for Illinois. Not next year. It's in 27, 28. But we need our fans to show up. They're tremendous. And it should be a heck of a game, guys. We certainly hope we do our part.
Well, I know if I have the choice between watching Tennessee basketball and watching something good happen to Georgia or Alabama, I know what I'm going to be doing, Bob.
I'm not going to comment, but I'm with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, Coach, really appreciate the time. Good luck at Bridgestone Saturday night. We'll be watching.
Thanks, guys, and it's a great start to the season, and thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Coach.
Tennessee assistant coach Gregg Polinsky one more time on The Drive. Got to take a quick time out. More Fan Run Radio coming up.